Good morning everybody. You should have now received your second flower pod activity pack, which has come in one of these blue crates. There'll be a selection of 6 different plants in there, which you can identify using the sheet that's in your pack just there. They are slightly different, but I'll go through those in a minute. And there's also a tomato plant, which is quite separate to what we're doing today. I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of how to plant up your planter. Some people may have requested a planter which we were sent out, something like this, and you'll have some compost as well. But if you haven't got a planter, you can use anything that you've got at home. The planters come in all different shapes and sizes. There's terracotta ones, there's plastic ones, all different colours. But it's very important that you remember to give them a clean before you use them. So I've just been up at the sink, giving them a bit of a wash, just a little bit of soapy water, scrub them out, make sure they're nice and clean. Also make sure that there's some holes in the bottom. So sometimes the pots like this won't have holes in the bottom, but they'll have markers to show you where to punch through. So this one's been done, but it is something you need to do very, very carefully. Probably with a bit of support. I usually use a screwdriver or a knife, but it is a little bit dangerous, so I should ask somebody to give you a hand with that if you haven't got any holes in the bottom for drainage. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to plant up a large planter, about 20 inches. We've got some plastic ones here, black and terracotta, but you can also use the terracotta or clay pots as well. What I usually do, but I haven't got any to hand now, is put some older compost on the bottom of one of these deep planters when I'm planting bedding plants, because the roots aren't going to go right down to the bottom, and it saves wasting a lot of compost. But because I haven't got any today, I'm going to show you filling it up with ordinary compost. So it needs to be filled up right to the rim, like this. So what we do now is we'd get some slow release granules to mix in, but I need to go and get some of those right away. The slow release granules that we use are this Miracle Grow All Purpose, and they look like this, little yellow beads. Your bags of compost will already have the right amount for the amount of compost already mixed in, but if you're going to have a bigger pot like this one, you're going to have to either get some more slow release granules to add in and sort of follow the instructions about how much you need to put in, which is quite complicated, so you might need some help. Or the easier option is to get a bag of compost that's already got the feed and the wetting gel in it, and then you haven't got to worry about it. There'll be enough food in there to keep the plants going all summer long. So when it's all sort of in the pot like this, we're ready to plant. So these are your 6 plants we've got. So we've got a geranium, which is going to be quite tall, a grass, a bunny grass, which is a miniature grass, a bacopa there, which is a trailing plant. These are mixed bacopas, so it's potluck which colour you get. They could be blue, white or pink. We've got a trailing lobelia. Again, I think it's blue, but I'm not sure. You can let me know once they're flowered. We've got an osteospermum or Cape daisy there. We've grown those at flower pod before, so you might actually recognise those when they come out. They're lovely, sort of usually pink daisies, which are really pretty. And this is called bluperum, which is a yellow plant. So what I'd do is look at my plant pot, and I'll think, right, which plant's going to be the tallest, and I might decide to put the geranium in the middle. So I'll place them on there, and I'm going to arrange them around the pot to see how they fit to start with. The trailing plants will always go to the edge, so that's my bacopa that's going to trail over there. I've got my lobelia, which I'll put just there. I've got my osteospermum, which I'm actually going to put position just there. My grass, which is pretty there. And then the lobelia is quite a small plant, so I'll be able to squeeze in the bluperum just there. So it gives you an idea what the plants are going to look like before you actually take them out of the pots. They're sort of nicely spaced, one in the middle, and then the others around the outside. So the next thing we do is I'm going to start with planting the middle one, the geranium. So to take it out of the pot, you very carefully squeeze it from the bottom and ease it out gently, and it should have quite a good root system just there, look. And then you make a little hole and you're going to place that in there. And then the grass, which I just taken out of there, again we're going to make a little bit of a hole again. It's very straightforward, and again squeeze it all the way around. If they've got a stronger root system, you'll need to do it a little bit better, and you might need to tap it a little bit harder, and then it'll come out nice and gently like that. These plants, sometimes people tease out the roots, but it's not really necessary on these plants. They haven't been in the pots for a long time, so they'll be absolutely fine just to put in as they are. That's that one. And then I've got my lobelia. These haven't got a very strong root system yet because they've only just been potted on into these pots. It's going to go just there. Anyway, you get the idea, don't you? This is the blue pleurum, and I've got a better root system. Tease that out a little bit. And I always think plants have got a good side and a bad side, so I always sort of tilt them to the side that I think they're going to look their best, or position them to their best side. Particularly if it's a trailing plant like this one, like the bacopa. I always try and see which bit's going to trail the best, so that one I think is going to look nice like that. So that's that. And then the last one is the osteospermum. There we go. I'm going to plant that one just there. Right, I'm just going to go around and fill in with a bit of compost to make sure everything's nice, planted firmly in. There we go. And that's it really, and before you know it, everything will be sort of spreading out and you'll have a lovely full pot. But the next thing you need to do before you finish gardening is to get a watering can or a hose pipe and give it a really good water. Use a fine rose, because some of these plants are quite young at the minute, so you don't want to flood them out. So I'll go and fetch a watering can. So we've now positioned our plant to where we want it to be, because it's quite heavy to move it once it's watered, so it's better to put it into position really before you water it. And now I've got my watering can half full. I'm going to water our plants. There we go. It's quite a nice rose. Give them a good water in. That's it, and the soil's nice and moist there. This time of year really, you need to check them sort of every day in the morning, just see if the compost is nice and moist to touch like this. And that's it then, you can sit and enjoy them. The only thing I will say, at the moment, if your packs are out to you next week, there's still a chance of frost, so you need to keep your eye on the weather forecast, and if it does look like it's going to be cold, try and move them somewhere sheltered. If you've got a greenhouse, that's ideal, or you could cover them up. You've got a little bit of a blanket or a piece of fleece or something, that would be perfect, because all these plants in here aren't, well, not all of the plants in here are frost hardy, so I wouldn't like you to lose them if we do have a bad frost. Happy gardening!